Good morning and welcome to Megillah, Daf Yomi number 25, Daf Chaf Hey. Come, my friend, you want to say hello?
Of course.
Chaver Shali, Rozel Agid Shalom.
He's the best Megillah in the world.
Yeah.
You have to listen to him.
Tell people that they should subscribe also.
All the people subscribe and do like.
And do like, just like you. He personally, he set up 50 Google accounts, 50 accounts on Google, who subscribed on all 50. I'm joking.
Yeah.
He subscribed on all 50. He subscribed 50 times to me. Can you believe it?
Not 50, 100.
100 times he subscribed to me.
Okay.
I'm joking. No. What do you have to say about Masechus Megillah?
Of course.
Oh, okay. We're going to start the share with the L'chaim.
Oh, very good.
We have a L'chaim here. You heard about my Chatzi shir? Chatzi shir, Shali?
Oh.
Hagati L'cha?
No.
זה אנו לומדים מסכת מגילה, כן? וגם, ויש זכירה על הלימוד של מסכת מגילה, אבל לא עשייה, זה לא יום פורים, it's not Purim today. So צריכים לשתות, אבל חצי שיר, חצי, half a shot, not a whole shot. זה זכירה בלי עשייה.
Yeah, because it is not Purim today.
It's not Purim today, exactly.
Oh, it's a good l'chaim.
It's good. This is single malt. If you watch my other videos, this is a big Chati share. You want all of that?
Wow.
Or it's too much for you?
It's too much.
So pour a little in here. All right. A little more for me. Okay. And we're going to make a l'chaim that we should see that many more people are watching this year. Oh, gosh. Whoa, almost broke. What happened over there?
Oh, that's okay.
All right. It's okay. Everything's okay. L'chaim, I should see siyata d'shmaya, and that more people should watch my shir and enjoy my shir. Listen, I'm not lying to you. You're getting your buck. You're getting your money's worth. I'm telling you, when you watch my shir, even though you don't have to pay any money to watch me.
Yeah.
L'chaim tov l'shalom.
L'chaim kol tov v'atzlacha.
Amen, amen. L'chaim. L'chaim tov l'shalom. Thank you. What's your name again? Mashem Shachot? Avremi, my friend. Drink l'chaim. Good way to start the shir.
Very good.
All right, we're on the bottom, the last word on Chavdalam and Beis. Ha'omer, the Mishnah says, Ha'omer Yivarucha, the top of Chavchem and Aleph, Yivarucha, Tovim, Harezu Derech Minos. If you say that good people should bless you, bless Hashem, that's heresy. Akan Sipur will see why. Akan Sipur Yagir Rachamecha, a person says that Hashem should have mercy on birds. That's also Al-Tov Yizakir Shimcha. You say that Hashem should remember for good. Modim Mishaskin also. If you say, when you're saying Shemon Esrei or the Sibur says Modim twice, we silence him. Hamachane Barayos, all these three things we silence him. Machane Barayos, someone who talks about Arayos in a euphemistic way. He doesn't actually say what he's saying. We'll see what that means. Mishaskin also, you silence him. Omer Mizaracha Lositein Lahaver Lamolech. Pasuk says you shouldn't give your offspring to Molech. It's like an Avodah Zarah. Lotitein Laabra Baramusa Mishaskin Masifa. If someone says the explanation that Pasuk is that you shouldn't be together with a non-Jewish woman, and you're gonna have a child from him, and that's the explanation of the Pasuk, we silence him with condemnation. We silence him very strongly. The Gemara says, Bishlam modim. When you say modim, the mechsik shtei reshuyos. The reason we silence him is modim because it sounds he's modim to Hashem. He's modim to another power that's equal with Hashem. Al tov yizakir shimcha nami. Tamashmal tov hein val ralo. Al tov yizakir shimcha. Your name should remember for the good things that you do. For the bad that we don't remember Hashem, it's not really true. Visnan chayiv adon varach al rak varach al tov. Even if something bad happens, you're supposed to bless Hashem because really, ultimately, it's all for the good. What's the problem with saying that Hashem should have mercy on the birds? Pligi bat Shamurai, there's two explanations. Ma'arav and Eretz Yisrael. Rabbi Yossi bar Avi and Yossi bar Zveda. One says that you're causing jealousy among the animals. You're causing other animals to be jealous of birds. I didn't know that animals could be jealous, but now you know that the puppet shows the puppets are real. They're real animals. We're going to find out on Sechus Moed Katan, real puppets. And they have feelings also. And they're going to be jealous of the birds. You know, there's a famous machlokes that Abaye and Rav, mitzvos lahanos nidnu, mitzvos lav lahanos nidnu. We paskin like Rav, mitzvos lav lahanos nidnu. They're not given their gzeros, their Hashem decrees. We don't really understand what he's doing, what Hashem says these things. And you're giving reasons to you're saying that Hashem says to Shiloh Hakan to send away the mother bird before you take the eggs. That's a thing of act of mercy. You don't know why Hashem says that. He's just saying that's a mitzvah. We don't know his real reason. So you're saying that Hashem's doing it because of mercy, and really it's not because of mercy, it's because it's Xerah, and we don't understand that fully. How the Nachis Kamei the Rabba, Rabba was attending a minyan, someone was a Shliach Sibur. Amar Ata Chasta al Kansip or Ata Chus Barachim Aleinu. You were merciful, this person added on to the tefillah, said you were merciful on the birds by instituting a mitzvah of Shiloh Hakan. You should likewise have mercy on us, the Jews. Amar Rabba Kama Yadahayam Harabanan Ritzuya Lamare. So Rabba heard this tefillah. He said, wow, this person knows a great way to appease his master. Amalei Abaye, I'm a Shaskana Sostan. Abaye was there also. He said the Rabba, who was his Rebbe, he said the Mishnah says we silence him. Rabba do the Abaye the bow. Rabba really knew that the person in the Shtech Sibur was doing the wrong thing. The reason he said, it was a great thing, so test Abaye, sharpen Abaye to see that, make sure he would respond that really it's a bad thing. Ahu the Nachas Kamei the Rabbi Chanina. Someone was a Shtech Sibur in front of Rabbi Chanina. Amar Hakel Agadol Agibra Nora, which we say in Shmona Esrei. And then he added on, Ha'adir B'Chazak V'Amitz, the majestic one, the strong one, the most powerful one. Amar Lei, Sim Tinu L'Shavchei Damarach. He said, that's all. You finished all the praise of Hashem. Hashtahani Tlasa, the first three, Akel Gadol Gibra Nora, Ilav the Kasvino Moshe Reis. If it wasn't said in Torah by Moshe, Asuk Nezak Dol V'Achninu, and the Anshek Nezak came. And they said, this is part of Shmona Esrei. Anan Lo Amrin Lahu. We would never have said them. Ba'ad Amart Kulei Hai, and you're saying these extra three things that are not mentioned anywhere? Mashallah Adam, it's a parable to a person. Shilo Elef Alfi Alpayim Din Rezav. He had thousands, 10,000, 100,000 gold coins. And Mekalson saw Bidin Re Kesef. They said, wow, this guy is really wealthy. He has a lot of silver coins. So Logan Ayulo, it's a disgrace for him. He should be talking about his gold coins. Amar Rabbi Chanina Kol Bidei Shemayim Chutz Miyira Shemayim. Everything, another teaching, Rabbi Chanina, everything is ordained by Hashem except for Yira Shemayim. Now, I want to talk today a little about this phrase. We believe that there's free will in the world. And, my father always has to ask me the question. He says there's free will in the world. So, how could you really control your actions? If you are able to, your free will allows you to control what you do and your actions. So, then how could it be that Hashem knows everything? We say Hashem, He knows the present, He knows the past, and He knows the future. He knows the future. How could Hashem know the future if you have free will and you can control your actions? To this, I have to admit, my father is right. I backtrack from what I said. When we say you have free will, it doesn't mean that you can control your actions. The only thing you can do is control your decision making. That is the only thing you can do. Obviously, when you decide to do something, you decide to act. But ultimately, the acting is in the hands of Hashem. Fearing Hashem, making decisions is in your hands. And if Hashem doesn't want you to do something, even if you decide to do it, He'll put some other thought in your mind why you should not do it. And if you decide not to do something and Hashem wants you to do it, He'll put some other thought in your mind, even though you made the right decision. You made the right decision not to do it, but Hashem will put some other thought in your mind in order to do it. Ultimately, the whole world, like Matrix, is pre-programmed by the computers. All we can do is make decisions, and if we make the right decisions for a long enough amount of time, and we don't give up that koach habachira, then we'll be successful in getting out of the Matrix. There you have it. The truth of the world. Okay, so the Gemara says, "Shenemar akovi l'shamayim chutz me'yer shamayim shenemar b'atay yishal al ma Hashem al kecha shol me'imcha kim le'yira." What does Hashem ask from you? Kim le'yira. He only asks for you to fear Hashem. Michal le'yira milta zudrasi. Moshe says, all Hashem asks for you is to fear Hashem. It's such a small thing. It's hard to fear Hashem. And Moshe Rabbeinu milsa zudrasi. For Moshe Rabbeinu, he was on a high level. It was hard. It was easy for him to have Yira Shemai. If it's a mashal, it's a parable to someone, they're asking from him for a big expensive utensil, a big expensive crystal bowl, and he has it. So it's like a small crystal bowl. If they ask him for a small crystal ball, he doesn't have it. To him, it seems like an impossible thing to have a huge crystal bowl that you can turn into crystal ball and drop from Times Square on New Year's. Amar Zera Omer Shma Shmak Omer Modim Modim Dami. Someone says Shma Shma, he says Shma twice. It's like saying Modim Modim, and the Mishnah we silence it. Mesive is really true. Hakare Shma v'Kofla. He says Kriya Shma, the first pasuk Kriya Shma, and he repeats it. Hareza Maguna. It's disgraceful. Maguna hu dahavi. It's disgraceful. Shtukila Mishaskinale. It's not as severe that we have to actually silence him. We don't respond to him. Lokash. Had Amar Milsa v'Tanila. Had Amar Psuka v'Tanila. Maybe he says Shema, then he says Shema, and he says Yisrael. So that doesn't seem like he's serving two gods. I mean, it sounds like he's just a little confused. So it's not a proper way of saying Shema Yisrael. But what if you say the whole pasuk Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, and then you repeat it? It sounds like Modim Modim. It sounds like you're servicing two gods. In both cases, right? He repeated Shema, or he said Shema Shema Yisrael Yisrael. Why is it Magunar? Why are we Meshaskin also? Maybe he just couldn't have Kavana, and we know Mitzvah Shrichas Kavana. You have to have Kavana when you say Kriya Shema. So maybe he didn't have Kavana, and that's why he's repeating it. So why is that such a bad thing? Amalei Chavrusa Klape Shmaya. Are you supposed to have a Chavrusa? You're supposed to be friends with Hashem? If he doesn't, if a person's not able to have Kavana, I'll hit him with a blacksmith's hammer until he has the proper Kavana, meaning don't take it lightly, make sure you have the right Kavana, don't repeat it. Someone who speaks euphemistically of forbidden relations, we silence him. Tanner of Yosef, Kol and Aviv, Kol and Imo. Like where it says that you shouldn't expose the nakedness of your father and mother. A person says it's not the nakedness, you shouldn't be together with your mother or father. That's not the Isser. The Isser is to disgrace your father or mother. And that's what the Torah meant. It didn't mean actually being together with them. That we silence them because really the Torah meant what it said. Omer Mizaracha lo sitem lahavir tan de b'shmo b'Yisrael haba alakusis v'holid min ben lavarozara kosav medaber. What is this pasuk talking about? What is the explanation that the Mishnah says, or we're mashaskin osom in a zifa? Like the Mishnah says, he's together with an idolatrous woman, and he has ben lavarozara. So now today, this will be the evening of Ben Sion for today. What did the Talmud Debei Rabbi Shmuel reveal that the Mishnah did not reveal? What is he really explaining over here? That's exactly what the Mishnah says. To answer this, there is a small difference between the Mishnah and Talmud Debei Shmuel. The Mishnah is talking about Aramusa. He's together with an Aramis, a ball Aramis, Kanayan Pogan ball. That's what it says in the Gemara. Aramis, whatever Aramis is. Here's a Kusis. Kusis, we're going to learn in other places, is actually a Jew. A Jew who's not observing Judaism the right way. Either Kusim Gary Arios or Kusim Gary Emes, we'll talk about it at a different time, but it's really a Jew a Jew is not appearing Jewish or not a proper convert, but he's partially Jewish. Um, so this is actually the right explanation. It doesn't say in the Brisa Meshas Musam Nazifa. Tana Shmuel is saying that the right explanation of the pasuk Lamolech is when you head together with a Jew who's practicing Judaism the wrong way, um, and then they have a child together. That is the kavanah of the pasuk. That's the right kavanah of the pasuk. Mizaracha lo sitin lahaver lamola. The wrong explanation is that you're together with a non-Jew, and then that is not the right explanation. That's the wrong explanation. And that, if a person says that, Meshaskin or someone Nazifa, but that's the wrong explanation. Because in a certain sense, it's worse to be together with a woman, someone who's practicing Judaism the wrong way, than someone who is a non-Jew. Because if she's not Jewish, there's safeguards, there's guidelines. You can always say your mother's not Jewish, so he'll know that there's difference in Jews and non-Jews. But when you're together with a woman who is Jewish but practicing it the wrong way, there'll be a lot of confusion. You'll say, "Oh, it's Judaism also," and then it'll be real avodah zarah. That's the problem. That's Eon Ben Sion today, brought to you by the Galen Levitt. I'm joking. The Galen Levitt is what I drank before. All right. The Mishnah says, "Ma'isa Ruvain Nikra v'lo Matargim." The Mishnah is going to talk about things which are seemingly disgraceful in the Torah. Do you read them? Do you not read them? Do you translate them? Do you not translate them? Ma'isa Ruvain Nikra v'lo Matargim. The instance of Ruvain, where it says that he was together with Bilhah, his father's maidservant, Pelegish. You read it, but you don't explain it. You don't read the Targum. Ma'isa Tamar Nikra Matargim with David and Tamar. Yehuda and Tamar. Nikra Matargim. Ma'isa Egal Harishon Nikra Matargim. The first story of the Egal, where it's recounted. The Torah recounts what happened with the Egal Azav. That's Nikra Matargim. Hasheni, where the Torah then after talks about the discussion between Moshe and Aaron. That we read with Matargim. Birkas Kohanim, Ma'isa David Amnon, Nikram Matargim. The Birkas Kohanim, we'll see why, and the story of David and Amnon and Tamar. David and Amnon and Tamar. David was the father of Amnon. Amnon was together with Tamar in a wrong way, so raped her. Nikra'im Matargim, it's read in Matargim. And Maftirim Merkava. You don't make the Torah out of the Ma'isa Merkava, which is in Yechezkel, because people like the Gemara and Chagiga will learn. Says that you don't really talk about the Merkava so much. Rabbi Yehuda Mati, Rabbi Yehuda allows. You don't make Haftorah. Hoda Yishalayim talks about all the Averos that were done in Yerushalayim. Tana Rabbani, Ish Nikrin Matargim, Ish Nikrin Lo Matargim, Ish Lo Nikrin Lo Matargim, Elo Nikrin Matargim. There's three categories. There's psukim which are read and translated. Some are read and not translated. Some are not read at all. And we'll go through all categories. Ma'isa Bereshis Nikrin Matargim. The beginning of the Torah of Bereshis. It's read and it's explained. Pshita, of course. We're going to ask, if they hear about creation, they're going to say, what's above, what's below? What's considered before Hashem, what's after Hashem is going to be, which we know is not true. There's nothing above. There's nothing below. There's nothing before. There's nothing after. There's just HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This world is HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's it. That's all there is. Kamash Milan, we're not worried that people will make that mistake. Ma'isa Lot, Vishtei Benosa, Lot, when his two daughters tricked him, or sort of tricked him into being together with him, having children, Moab and Ammon. Nikro Matargim is read in Matargim Pshita, of course, why not? Ma'al say when Nechos Zechot Abram. Lot we don't care about, but Lot was the nephew of Avram, so we should worry about his bizayon. We're not worried about. Ma'isa Tamar Yehuda Nikra Matargim, where he was with Tamar, it was a zona, his Nikra Matargim Pshita, Ma'al say Yehuda. You might think that we should worry about Yehuda. Shavche Yehuda Odi. It's praiseworthy of Yehuda that he was moda, that he admitted what he did wrong. Ma'isa Egal Rishon Nikra Matargim. The Ma'isa of the Egal Rishon. the calf, the golden calf. Nikram Targim Pshita. What's the problem? Other say Leichus Achodan Shal Yisrael. You might to be Zion to call Yisrael. Kamashplan. What's all these Kamashplan? Kamashplan is telling you that the Torah is true. The Torah speaks about the bad and speaks about the good. If speaking about the bad is going to lead you off the derech, it's going to lead you the wrong way. So it's not a terrible thing to speak about someone's mistakes because you can learn from them and you can do tshuva. But when you speak about mistakes that are going to bring people in the wrong direction, that's when we're going to see you don't explain the psukim. It's preferable to them that they'll have kapara by being mentioned that they did a wrong thing. Close of brachos, we know in end of Sefer Vayikra and in Dvarim also. There's close of brachos. Nikra Matargim those read it. Explain Pshitam al the same Nechush. The reason we might think not to read it is Dilma Paiga Datayu Sibura. People are going to have a yish. People are going to hear about the terrible klolos. They're not going to want to live on. Kamashman, as far as we're not worried about it. As far as for Onshin, the warnings of the Torah and the punishments you get for violating the Torah, Nikon and Matargum are read and translated Pshita. Why not? Maybe people are not going to do it l'shma. They're going to do it out of fear. Kamash Malan, I guess the Kamash Malan would be, that's where you start from. Yeras Onesh. And then you get 2 Yeras Haromus. Maisa Amon and Tamar, Nikra Matargum. The Maisa of Amon and Tamar is read in Matargum. Maisa Avshalom, Nikra Matargum. Avshalom also, he was together with some of the Pilag showed of David. That's right. I'm talking Pshitam. Other same Alechos Dikri of David. You might think that we should wear the honor of David. Both Avshalom and Amnon were the sons of David, so we should worry about it. Kamashplan. Ma'aseh Pilagish Begiva Nikra Matargim Pilagish Begiva, where people from Binyamin violated a concubine and dismembered her. It's read in Matargim Pshitam. Other same Alechos Shechvan the Binyamin. We might think Binyamin was a tribe of Klal Yisrael. We should embarrass them. Kamashplan. We have to deal with it in the deal with things directly. We talk about things mistakes people made. Hoda Yisraelim Esovaseh Nikra Matargim, that Haftorah is your understanding of Pshita Lafuke Midrelezer. No, the reason it says in the Mishnah is to tell you now, like Rabbi Lezer, the tiny mice about the Mechad, Shakor Lamalam Rabbi Lezer, he was reading the Haftorah in front of Rabbi Lezer. Hoda Yisraelim Esovaseh Amar Lo Achta Bodek B'Toivos Yisraelim. He said to the person reading the Haftorah, while you're investigating the Averos of Yerushalayim, say go check the abominations of your mother. It's possible they found out that his mother was Mezana, his mother did illicit relations, and he had a psul in his yichus. We don't hold like that. We can't read Hoda Yerushalayim. Ela Nikra L'Matargim, Ma'aser Ruvain Nikra L'Matargim. Sorry, the Ruvain, Vayishkav as Bila. It's not translated. Ma'aser Rabbi Chanina ben Gamliel. There was an incident of Ben Gamliel Shalach L'Kful. He went to this place called Kful. We started mentioning this pasuk, which is going to start talking about Vayishkav Ruvain as Bila. When he got to Vayishkav Ruvain as Bila, he told him Hafsek, Alta Targim, El Achron, just translate the end of the pasuk, and it says, V'yubnei Yisrael, Shtei Esrei. That you could translate before, don't translate. The Chamim praised him for doing that. The secondary account of the Maisa Egel is not translated. Is a Maisa Egel Hasheni? What is that? Min Vayomer Moshe ad Vayar Moshe. Moshe asked Aaron what happened. Tanya Rishon Elazar, Omer LaOlam Yehi Adam Zar b'Tshuvosa. A person should be very careful what he answers people. Tshuva Sheshivu Aaron LaMoshe. From what Aaron responded to Moshe, Pakru ha Ma'arim, the people that acted brazenly, that wanted to uproot the Torah, they have what to say. This is in the Torah. Aaron responded to Moshe, I threw it into the fire and a golden calf came out. People are going to say it's Avodah Zarah. So this is misleading people to Avodah Zarah. Therefore, we don't translate it. Berkas Kohanim, Nikrim, Matargimin. You don't translate the Berkas Kohanim in my time. It says that Hashem shows favor. We know that it says it the other way in the Torah. The Gemara asked, in fact, in Brachos, that Hashem doesn't show favor. So how could you say in Berkas Kohanim that Hashem should show favor to Klal Yisrael? So the Gemara in Brachos already answers the question that the Kazayas Ukabetza, they're Mavarach Hashem, so how could Hashem not show favor to them? What the explanation of the Gemara is, I don't know. We'll leave it at that. Mais David Amnon, Lo Nikon, Velo Matargmin. The story of David Amnon is not read, it's not Matargim. Amar Mais Amnon, Tamar Nikon, Matargim. We just said it earlier on the Daf. It's read and it's explained. Lo Kash, Hadal Siv Amnon and David, Hadal Siv Amnon Stama. The psukim that's just referred to as Amnon, that we do read and we do translate it. When it says Amnon and David, when it mentions his father David, that we don't translate. Tan Rabbana, Kol Mikros Aktuv in the Torah, Gdanai, Koran Sol Shvach. Any psukim in the Torah which are written in a seemingly disrespectful in an undelicate way, we read them in a favorable way. Kagon Yishkalena, which is an explicit word for sex. Yishkavena, we say to lie with her. By Afolim, by Tachurim, Afolim is with their anus. But Churim, we translate it. Churim is a more delicate word. Charyonim, Divyonim. Charyonim is a reference to the dung of doves. Divyonim is, we translated things that flow from them. Lechol es Charem, Lishos Meimei Shineim. It's a reference to their feces and a reference to their urine. Lechol Soseim, Lishos Meimei Raglayim. We change it. Soa, Meimei Raglayim. Words that are a little cleaner. Lemecharot, Lemotzos. B'Yishuv Karach Omer, Lemecharos. Mecharos, we translate Lemotzos. Again, this is referring to going to the bathroom from the behind. Translate the Motzos. Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha Omer lemecharos kishman. He says you read mecharos the way it's written. Because here there's a reason to keep it as the way, because we're talking about avodah zarah having problems going to the bathroom. Amar of Nachman Kol Tzinusa Asira. You're not allowed to mock people. Bar Tzinusa Avodah Chavim. Except avodah zarah, you could mock the Sharia. The Chsiv Kara Baal Karas Navo. Talking about Baal and Navo, two avodah zaras. They go to the bathroom. They can't control their bowels. They splash. Karas, it goes freely. Karsu Karav Yachtav Liyachlo Malit Masa. They can't hold their bowels in; it just comes right out. Rabbi Yana Yomer Mahachal LaGalos Beisonia Guru Shchan Shomron Kieva Olav Amo V'Kmarav Olav Yagilu. The priest will joyless Lakodo Kigala Mimenu. Unto honor. Singly, the puzzle says the honor was taken away. This is about Zara. Talking about Zara, Galos Beison. Atikri Kvodo Ela Kvedo. You read it, not Kvodo, his honor, Ela Kvedo, his what he has to bear, his bowels. He can't hold his bowels. Amar of Huna Bamano, Shpeder Rabach, Breder Ravika. Charlotte the body Yisrael, Memar Love Kachavim, Shakle, was Kachavim Anche Beshin Tav. Shalom. You can tell a non-Jew, I wouldn't tell him this. You tell a non-Jew that you should take his avodah zarah and stuff it in his shin tuf. This is a nice way of saying your tuchis. Amar Rav Asha Himan Dastane Shumane, someone who people saying bad things about him. Charle Lavzuye Begimel Vashin. People are saying that he had illicit relations with other people. You can say that his mother, the Gimel, she was together with other people, Vashin, and he is like a stupid. Haiman the Shapir Shumane is someone who people are saying good things about. Shari Lishabuche. You're permitted to say good things about him. The Shabche is someone who praises him. Yanuchul Brachos Arosho. Brachos will rest upon his head for praising someone. See, it's interesting. The Gemara has to give a head there to praise someone. You don't just go randomly say, oh, look for good things in people. Sometimes people say, oh, look for the good things in people and praise him for that. No, if he has a really good reputation, then it's permissible to compliment him. If he's a regular guy, don't compliment him. If he's a really special guy, you can compliment him. So, on that note, you can compliment my shiur. You can write your comments below and tell me how much you love the shiur. I'll see you tomorrow.